Okay, so if you've read the slides, you have two choices here for how you'd like to approach your color study of Matisse's Woman on a Purple Coat. This is a pretty detailed piece, so you are encouraged to zoom into a portion of it, or maybe half of it, but keeping things to a reasonable size will help you do this in a more realistic time period. Now you have two choices. You can draw directly, like this example is, onto your artwork paper. Notice I'm right below Picasso. Or your other option is we have some printouts of it in a line drawing of just the top half that if you color and then cut them out, we can just glue stick them right onto your artwork. You cut out this excess. So we're doing this option because the focus is on color, matching color, application of color, and colored pencil technique. So we don't want to spend a whole class period drawing the artwork. That's why this is an option for you, and either one is fine. I'm going to work directly on the paper for a second. There are several different ways to approach colored pencil. I'm going to demonstrate 3 different techniques. You should be working towards using at least one of them, one of those techniques, plus you want to be working with mixing colored pencil, because we don't have exactly these colors. These are paint colors, and Henry Matisse mixed these paint colors specifically, and we're using colored pencil. So the first technique is what we typically start with, which is just back and forth. Now usually it's kind of like what we do with a crayon, so to say. But if you're going to do back and forth, a few things that you should work towards is always outlining. I'm going to work on this yellow shape. I think it's the chair. You always want to work in outlining the shape in color first, and then going back in and with your back and forth stroke. Now when you use a back and forth stroke, you're going to have to put quite a bit of pressure, because we really would prefer not to see the back and forth in an example like this. There's a time and a place for it, but here what I want you to do is practice getting a real solid amount of color and nice clean edges between your colors. And it will help a lot if you outline those shapes before you fill them in with color. You'll notice in Matisse's work there's a lot of thick black line. We're actually going to approach that line with a Sharpie. So this is a combination of colored pencil and Sharpie. But as I'm working on this, I want to have all of my colored pencil done at the edges before I go back in and do the Sharpie over top. So as you work with back and forth, it works nicely for nice solid true colors. Like the yellow is probably pretty true. We don't really need to mix the yellow. We probably don't need to mix our green. But in the next video I'm going to demonstrate 2 ways that you can mix the colors, which you'll have to do for her coat specifically, and maybe even the browns.